Hello and welcome back to the Road to 200 kg Deadlift episode number 16. Now continuing on from last week's episode where I pulled my first 180 kilos or 4-plate pull. This week we're doing it slightly better, slightly heavier of 182.5 kilos for a single. Now this moved alright. It's not the best lift I've ever done on deadlift. It was put us in an RPE 8 and it felt like probably 8.5 maybe. I definitely think I could have pulled it again. Yes, I kind of had to like knee it up almost, which is kind of one of the first times happened to me in a deadlift where I've had to like pull it up using like my legs and my quads, getting everything involved. But I think that's just down to maybe fatigue. Obviously we put it down to like the last 15 weeks of deadlifting, but maybe some work I need to do, and like is in my starting position, or it's just because it's heavy and a slight breakdown in form is going to happen. All the times the heavier you lift, the further away you get from absolute perfect form, which is like, I know we're going off topic here, but every time I watch like a tutorial of any lift on YouTube, it's always lightweight, and of course the form's gonna be perfect, but when you get heavier, that's where form breaks down slightly. But not, my form wasn't like breaking down ridiculously bad or anything. I'm still able to pull the weight. Yes, it wasn't the most prettiest lift, but we move on from that, and the going into back off sets now, we're doing 3x3 of 140 kilos. Again, these move fine. Oh, like I said, 140 kilos is a lightweight to me as well. It's baby weight. It's like a warm-up weight. It's a weight I'm very comfortable at as well. And I thought at the time that they didn't move very fast, but looking back on them, they moved extremely quick. Moving into Friday's pause deadlifts from last week, where it was RPE 8 for 165 for one, I decided to go again for 165 kilos for a single, and again it probably felt like an 8.5 more than anything. I think last week's single was better, but it wasn't like a terrible lift or anything like that. I was happy with the lift looking back. Moving into the back offsets now, we're doing RPE 9. I decided to go for 155, and I believe looking back at the footage that I overshot this slightly. This was kind of like maybe even an RPE 10. The first 2 reps I felt were good, sufficient enough. The third rep, the pause was nowhere near long enough, and the same with like the 4th rep as well. It was like a real struggle, so probably an RPE 10. And then I decided to load away for the next 2 sets. It was like minus 5% on my program anyways, but I thought I'll go like 10%, so I'll just drop it down to 140. Again, I don't want to overshoot it, considering next week is max out week as well, where I'll be deadlifting all next week, so I need to be primed and ready for that, so I don't want to overshoot it just yet. So dropped it down 140s again, get my ego in check. There's a funny look 140 because there's no 3 blues. It literally goes red, blue, green and white. Doesn't look as impressive for the cameras, but whatever. The first 4 reps of the third set I felt were fine. Looking back, watching them, I think they're fine, good enough. Obviously the intensity of this was quite quite a lot, to be honest, but I'm happy with how the last 2 sets moved, and I do think it's just like a build up of fatigue. And the previous night and the previous day, sorry, I did do like pin squats in the morning, then on the night I done kickboxing where it was literally like kicking and blocking all night, so I definitely think that had a part to play. But anyways, regardless, still a good week for deadlifting as well. I'm looking very forward to the next week where we are doing a max out, so if you want to watch any of my episodes, the playlist in the description below. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you on the next episode.